Hey, Kristen LaValley with the East Valley team. So I'm here today at one of our listings out in Maricopa to check on the situation with the locks. This is a short sale. We've been working on it for a while. It's in review with City Mortgage. We're close to getting an approval letter. They just recently scheduled a trustee sale. Sometimes the banks, they get a little crazy when they do that. And they'll come and check on the property. If there's no one there, they just kind of take matters into their own hands. And one of the things that they sometimes do is change out the locks. My clients received a letter last week stating that the bank was going to come in and they were going to take over the property. This is a situation where my clients are short selling their house because they're relocating, but they've moved their property out and they're still maintaining this home. They've got utilities on. It's actually on an alarm. See, the house is, very well maintained. Clearly not a house that's been abandoned and left to fall into disrepair. But the bank's letter, the tone of the letter was so stern and so ominous that my clients are really, really concerned. The letter states that City Mortgage has come in and found the property vacant. They reported this to the insurance company and they made charge to secure, winterize, and maintain the property. Winterization, which, okay, this is Arizona, so we don't really concern ourselves too much about pipes freezing, in this part of the country. And it's kind of hard to think about winterization when it's 110 degrees outside. But you know what? That's the way the banks are. And it does look like we've got the same lock system here. It's always been here. There's not the delightful gold tone cheesy lock that they put on when they take over the properties. But it has happened to other clients where the banks have come in, the house was vacant, and the bank just came in and changed out the locks. Stinkers. So I'm in the house, everything looks fine, the key works, they haven't rekeyed it, that's really, really good news. But it brings up a really good point. If you are short selling your house, you're going to be getting some letters, some correspondence from other departments in your bank. And you need to be communicating with them. Here's a couple of departments you can expect to hear from. Collections, they're going to call you and they're going to want you to make payments. Those guys, tell them you're doing a short sale. Tell them you don't want them calling you anymore and that those phone calls should stop. There might be a department that calls you and says, hey, what about a loan modification? Well, if you're doing a short sale, chances are you've decided that a loan modification is not going to work for you. Tell them you don't want to do a loan modification. Then there's the foreclosure department, and if your house is starting to get to that trustee sale day mode, if they're thinking about putting their house on the block for a trustee sale, couple things you can expect to see. They're going to send you an acceleration letter that says you're very delinquent in your account and we're going to have to turn you over to the trustee for a trustee sale. You're going to get a letter that's something along those lines. You want to know that that's coming because that's sort of like the hourglass now. You're on a time schedule and you want to make sure you're keeping that on the radar screen as you're working the short sale. So you definitely want to keep those guys in the loop. If you think the foreclosure department is going to talk to the short sale department, forget it. That's like Venus and Mars. They might as well be on different planets. So that's part of the fun of a short sale, is keeping everybody in the loop. If you want to try and ask yourself why it's this way, forget it. Don't ever ask why when it comes to banks. Nothing that they do makes sense. So if you have any questions or comments, leave me a comment below or shoot me an email at kristen@eastvalleyteam.com. I'd love to hear from you and make it a great day.